So welcome everyone. We're very excited at Shearers today to have the very lovely Gabrielle Lord, who's famous for many things, but namely the Conspiracy 365 series. So we've got a few kids who've emailed in some questions for you today. And our first question is from Rose, who's 12. And she would like to know, she's read that you've done quite a lot of research for your books, so she was wanting to know what sort of research you had to do for Conspiracy.
Rose, I had to do a lot of research for Conspiracy. I had to go to Ireland and talk to the keeper of rare books at Trinity College in Dublin, where I was investigating the Ormond Riddle to make sure that I had a really good place to hide it. And he was so helpful, the keeper of rare books, that I stole his idea and used it in the book. I do all sorts of research. I travel, I talk to people, detectives, experts. I really have to know what I'm writing about, otherwise I feel insecure.
I hear you even had to shoot some guns at some point.
Oh yes, I joined a pistol club just so I could handle weapons and handguns, and I learned how to fire a 45 and a 32, so look out.
Hey. Okay, so question number 2 from Max, who is 11, would like to know, since this series is now on telly, how much input did you have into the show?
I didn't have any input into the show, Max, apart from some advice, that was all. At one stage they wanted to change Vulcan Sligo's name, and I had to write why this would not be a good idea. But they always asked my opinion on things. They were very courteous, but basically a writer has to let go of the written product because television and film are very, very different. It's the difference between the piano and the violin. And just because you can make a lot of good noises on the piano doesn't necessarily mean that you can play the violin. So they're very different disciplines, and I leave the expert screenwriters to adapt what I've written in prose into good screenplays and teleplays.
Brilliant. We've had Jonathan, who's, I think he's 10, said you tortured him each month with an edge of the seat cliffhanger. What he wanted to know what you're working on now, and also wanted to let you know, can you not leave it so exciting at the end?
Poor Jonathan. Look, I do like to torture children. I'm a bit of a witch, really. I'm working now on book 14, which the bulk of the work's done, but it's with my very clever editors at Scholastic, and they'll be sending it back for a polish. So I can't really say much about it, except that it's very thrilling, and there is quite a bit of torture for you, I'm afraid, in it. And I'm going to be doing another very exciting project too, which you'll no doubt hear more about later. And I think that also will contain quite a lot of torture for you.
Oh, well done. In terms of writing for adults, and because you've done quite a lot of grown-up books, do you have a preference for writing for adults as for children, or?
I really enjoy writing for younger readers, probably a bit more than adults, because I know how appreciative young readers are of books that are written specially for them, and I know what sort of response I get. And it's more fun for me, actually, because I remember I've never really grown up properly, so I know very much what it's like to be a kid, and I just have a whole lot of fun making up these stories.
And we enjoy reading them.
Yes, thank you.
What we've loved about Conspiracy is that both the strong readers have absolutely loved it, but also it's got a hell of a lot of kids reading who normally didn't like reading. So very easy one to recommend. But what do you think the secret is to an exciting story?
Look, I think you've just got to keep it moving along. You know, too many books are too boring, and I think a lot of younger readers, especially people who aren't crazy about reading, I'm thinking of boys particularly, because boys take in the world in a different way to girls. They're much more hands-on, much more action-oriented. So I thought that if I just have action non-stop, pretty much all the way through, and that every action leads to another problem, which then requires more action to resolve, I would pick up readers who, up until now, had thought reading was pretty dull. And I love it when I hear that parents say, look, he's never read before, and now I find him hiding under the bedclothes at night with his torch to try and finish the book because he can't stop reading. That's when I know that it's been successful.
Brilliant. And congratulations on the series being so huge. It's big in the UK now. Have you sold it to other countries?
Yes, we've sold it to 13 different countries. We've got, I can't see, we've sold it to UK, USA, Canada, Turkey, Czechoslovakia, China. Amazing, isn't it? China. And Portugal and Brazil, I think. I forget. Is that right? Yeah, something like that. It's gone to a lot of countries.
So what's it like being an international superstar?
It's very nice. We like it. It's. I just like to think that that little series of books is going out all over the world. I think that's a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing for a writer.
Magic. Okay, so one last question. Is there a question you always wish someone would ask you?
Whether I have a cat or not.
And do you?
I do. I have a cat called Pushkin, and she's a Devon Rex, and she has her own heated bed, and she's a very, very nasty, very unpleasant cat, but we understand each other.
That's beautiful. And does she like reading Conspiracy 365?
She actually wrote it.
There you go, folks. You heard it first with Gabrielle Lord at Shearer's Bookshop. Thanks for listening. See ya.